how are you doing with everything going on? And just how are you in the moment? You know.
In the moment, well, I've been having trouble sleeping. After the whole fireworks and everything, it's just like, so I started using this sleep meditation that I found on YouTube, and
Nice.
that thing has been knocking me out. I slept 12 hours last night.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah,
Yeah, the fireworks. I've
yeah,
been reading about that and like seeing people like on my feed talk about how just even before Fourth of July for like a month, every
oh my
night,
god,
just like loud,
yeah,
sounding like World War III happening outside the windows
yeah.
and
And on 4th of July, I mean, it really sounded like there was a war going on. You know what I mean? I don't know why it was so jarring this year. Maybe it's because we've all been locked down, or maybe it was just more fireworks. But it's
yeah. I
been
think it's a combination of
crazy.
both. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
I'm feeling a
in
lot
my
better.
area, I didn't
I'm
have so
feeling.
much. I didn't have so much of that in my area, which I'm glad for. But then I was concerned for everybody because then I was getting all conspiracy theory going. Okay, why is it this year? Why is it so jarring? Why is everybody having these boom like fireworks as opposed to the normal fireworks? It sounded like somebody dropped a bomb outside your house, and
Yeah,
I was getting so nervous because I was like, well, what does this mean? Like on the Fourth of July, is there going to be something that bigger or something
I thought
crazy?
something was
I
gonna
was
happen
nervous.
too. Yeah, I was a little scared, but there's all kind of conspiracy theories like bubbling in my head lately. The world is just a weird, crazy place right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Who
it
knows? But
is.
other than that, I'm good. Other than the racial virus apocalypse, I'm good. Except for the
Well,
fact I need to work. You know,
oh, listen, amen, amen. So, what are you doing to help you through that? Because I feel like the world needs artists more than ever, right? Because when you look at history, as things go awry in history books, when you look at our ancestors as far as the Harlem Renaissance goes, and the Langston Hughes, James Baldwin, the Ruby Dees, artists are the ones that talk about what's happening in the world, right?
yeah.
And so, what are you doing with I guess to put your blue stamp on it because you are a writer, you are a spoken word artist, you write poetry, you write plays. Are you using that as a coping mechanism to help get you through?
Yeah, definitely. Well, in the beginning, like I was rushing like everybody else to like create some art, put it in the world, and I did a couple of things. But then when I kind of settled in and I realized like this is gonna be for the long haul,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
started to like take my time and really ponder the things that I want to say. So I'm in the midst of a couple projects right now that I'm writing. Um, One is a futuristic project that I've been working on for years.
Nice.
Um, that I'm like, I'm pondering and getting back into right now. Um, Another is a new play that I'm writing called
Okay.
I don't know those people. That's what it's called.
Amen. Okay, I have a feeling what that's going to be about.
Well, it's a little bit about gentrification. It's a little bit
Yeah.
about
Okay.
race,
Yes.
but it's all on a positive spin.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, because the question truly is like, how do we live together, really?
Yeah.
This is my country as much as it is any other person of any other persuasion.
Mhm.
So, the idea is like when they say go back to Africa, like I want to punch somebody in the face because like you go back to Europe or go back to wherever the fuck you came from. You know what I
Amen.
mean?
Amen.
Because I have as much right to this land as anybody else. So
Yeah.
we got to figure out how to live together. So this is what that play is about. And what we'll find out is that we have a lot more in common than we don't. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And so that's what I'm writing. Then the other one is a memoir piece that's like my solo show
That is dope.
extended on the page. So
Nice. Oh
yeah,
my gosh. So with you going back into your words and your love of words, this is something that I personally want to know about you. For the people who are watching and who will watch this later, I've known moms for a long time. But we've never had a conversation. I've never really asked you where did your love of writing come from, and just you're so good with language, the way you spit it, just all things about you, artistic. Where did the love? Where did that seed plant for you?
a rapper, like everybody else, and this is the '80s, the early to mid '80s, so I was rapping, and I was told that I was good, but I was scared to like jump into the cipher after school. You know what I mean? I was really scared about that. And then, fast forward, you know, uh, going to college. I went to college for architecture, and I was like, what am I
Oh
going to
wow.
college for architecture for?
Oh,
You
that's
know,
random. That's a left turn.
it was well, it was because I love graffiti, and I was like, oh, maybe we can make this work.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I see
And then
that.
I
Yeah.
realized how long it was going to take to become an architect, and I was like, oh, fuck this. And then when I came back, I really tried to make a go at it as a rapper. I was in a group called Uncontrolled Substance, and
Nice.
we were making demo tapes, and I went to high school with Sean Combs, P Diddy. So this is when he was taking Biggie and about to start his own label. And I went up to him and I was like, please listen to my demo tape. And he listened to it and he was like, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. And he heard one track and he's like, yo, work on that. And then, maybe I can point you in a direction, but I can't really take you guys with me right now, blah, blah, blah. So he left that off as pissed, like, nah, fuck, blah, blah, blah. But me, I was like, wow, I had never really performed. Right? You know what I mean? I was in this rap group trying to make demo tapes and had never really performed ever before. So I left the group and started going downtown to perform at like poetry, rap spots like the New Eurekan and
Nice.
Brooklyn Moon, and then it slowly transitioned. The rap slowly transitioned into poetry. Couldn't afford beats no more. I was also writing about deeper shit, and it just happened that way. And then, boom, I was like the poet on the scene. Um, and then, just happened.
And so
But
that
I
led
love
you
it. I
all to
mean, because I do my thing, right?
well, it led you to Def Poetry Jam. Just I knew of you before I knew you, right? And so it's so interesting to see you in those early stages, and then seeing a show like Oz, and seeing you on Oz as the poet, which you became on the worldwide stage. But before then, you were popular here in your hometown. But as Oz came about, you were in everybody's household, saying these lines and this poetry. Were they your own words, or how did that come about? And how did the poet character come to you? Because I think that's so amazing for you to have that trajectory and then land on a show like Oz.
Oh, well, I mean, there was a lot of luck involved, right time, right place. But in my head, it was all part of the plan. It was like, you see people busking in the street, right? And my idea is like, if you stay in one place long enough, eventually two things will happen. You'll get better, and people will see you enough to be like, listen, I've seen you on this corner doing, playing this saxophone for however long. Here's my card, whatever. So I was at the New Eurekan Poets Cafe for like 6 years performing, and by the time 1996 rolled around, I was there from like 1990 to 1996, and by '96 I was like the man. You know what I mean? Well, one of the men or women.
You still the man. You still the man, though. You still the man.
And
you still the man.
I did this poem called "Kidnap the President's Wife Without a Plan," which was a line that I had lifted from Nas on Live at the Barbecue. And I was like, ooh, I love that line. I'm going to write an entire poem about that. Kidnap the president's wife without a plan. And after I performed that poem at the New Eurekan, a director walked up to me, Darnell Martin. She was directing the pilot episode of Oz at that time. And she was like, I want you to audition for this role in Oz. And I was like, acting? How much does it pay? She told me, she was like, it's like $800 a day. And I was like, what?
You was like, what? Okay. Oh, okay.
So I went, I auditioned, I was horrible, but they asked me to do a poem in the audition. And I did kidnap in the poem, in the audition. And the executive producer Tom Fontana was like, "Listen, I got to put you in this show somehow." And I was like, "Well, put me in as poet." And he was like, "That's a good idea."
Wow,
And that's how
nice.
that came about. Yeah, yeah,
Wow. And so for you, were because there's no way. The reason why I ask this question is because I just don't think writers room could write what you spit on the
yeah,
show. Is that
yeah.
was those your words?
Those are my words. Those are my
Yes.
words. I would come in with a poem. Yeah, and or I would write something specific.
Yeah.
Or like because I did kidnap the president's wife without a plan on Oz, and then they crafted the entire scene around the poem. And
Yeah.
then some other poems are written specifically for the show, for the scene. But yeah, everything that I spat, other than dialogue, was my own. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
And then so you do Oz, you have that great experience, and then afterwards you continue your writing, you continue your poetry, and so then how did that morph into you starting to write plays?
Yeah. So I was still like performing, being a performance poet on the college circuit. For a while. And, I was getting a little tired of the college circuit, even though I was making a lot of money. But it was like, And then I had landed in LA, and by then I had started writing poetry that was longer than the standard 3-minute poems,
Mm-hmm.
and I found myself writing a series of poems that had the same character, and so I started to link them together, and then when I got down with the Labyrinth Theater Company, um, which was about when we did the last days of Judas Iscariot.
Nice,
All right,
yes. And if you for
Stephen
those who are
Adler
watching,
Kirkus.
go get that play and read it. It's a great play. Go ahead.
Yes, it is. Yes. So Kirkus, who was a fan, he told me at the time, he was like, Girgis and Philip Seymour Hoffman were both like, you should transition. You should try your hand at writing a play. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the way your poetry comes across is very narrative. And he's like, try your hand at writing a play. And I did, and it was trial and error, trial and error. There were so many phases to get to my first play, which was Paradox of the Urban Cliche.
Yes,
Which,
yes. And it was
yeah,
produced.
it was produced. It was
which is
produced a
which
couple
is
of
so
times.
great. Which I remember being in the audience of that play. So for those of
Yeah,
you guys, MuMs has a play that's been produced, and it was a great production. But continue, go ahead. And how
yeah.
was that experience
Well,
for you to write something and see it produced for the first time?
oh my God. Well, first of all, it was 10 years in the making, that play. It started out as a version called In the Last Car, Can't Nobody Hear You Scream. And
Mm.
so that was more of like a one man type of show. And then it kind of morphed into a multi character play, 4-person play. Um, but even before then, I had written a play for the 24-hour play, which
Mm-hmm.
ended up becoming my second play, which was Loveness. And I wrote it for the 24-hour play, like, overnight. And then when I sat in the audience and heard them do my words, like
Yes.
when I heard my words coming out of somebody else's mouth for the first time, it
Yes.
blew me away. It was bigger
Yeah.
than me performing poetry or acting or whatever. It blew my mind. Because one, I had written a melodramatic love story, and the director took it and turned the same words into a comedy, and people were laughing their asses off, and I was looking around like, what the hell? And that was a beautiful experience. So after that, I was like ready. I was like, give me a pen and a paper. I'm ready to write plays. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It is still in the same vein as kind of being a poet. It gives me a chance to really explore conflict within dialogue. You know what I mean? And different aspects of ideology facing off against each other. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. Love it.
And then from that experience on, and then we get to Sucker MC, your one man show. And then what was a seed for that? Was it something that you were like, oh, you know what, I should write a one man show, or is it I want to share a part of my life with the world? how was that baby born?
Well, there was a lot going on in my life at the time. I had moved to LA, and things were happening in LA. I had momentum and everything, and but in my downtime, I was still writing all kinds of things. And then I got a call from my brother telling me, basically, mom's has Alzheimer's disease, or she can't remember anything, and I can't take care of it. You need to come help me. And I moved back home, and this was between 2008 and 2011. I moved to LA in 2008 and moved back to New York in 2011. And in the midst of taking care of my mother, I took care of her for 4 years. I wrote, well, 3.5 years, I wrote a Sucker MC, which is basically about me overcoming my fear and finding responsibility and maturity within hip hop, um, and through my love of hip hop, and then taking care of my mother. So all of those elements were different poems and different pieces, and then I started to perform again. And Jenny Coombs, who directed Sucker MC, she saw me performing, and what I would do was when I would perform, I wouldn't have any time between the poems. I would just go from one to the next, so people couldn't stop and applaud. And she liked that, and she's like, "You have a one-man show here, and you just need to craft it, get it down to 70 minutes." And I was like, really? So she helped
Wow.
me in that developing of it, yeah. And like what ended up on stage is just a little bit of what I had written. That's why I'm doing the
Really? Because
memoir.
that was
There's a
like,
whole
ooh,
lot.
it
Yeah,
was,
I had to
it
cut
blew
out
me
a lot of
away. It was
stuff.
so good. Ooh, so
Thank
that's
you.
why you're bringing it back. And it was so
Yeah, I
good.
got.
I just, yeah. Go
Well,
ahead.
I got to
Yeah.
bring it back. I want to bring it back in a written form. People have been asking me to perform it again, but it's like a capper on my youth. You know what I mean? It's like that was that was me then. Now I'm in a new place. So performing it again doesn't really feel right,
Yeah,
but to
I
put
hear
it
that.
on paper, you know what I mean? It would be is a little bit more the speed that I'm at right now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
for you, writing poetry, writing a play, and then writing your one man show, are they the same or different for people who are out there who are writing or who want to write? Is there a difference for you with that? Do you feel like they're the same, or how are they different if they are?
They're the same in terms of writing, in terms of expressing myself. For me though, everything starts as a poem, and then it expands into whatever it expands into. You know, um, I've got a novel in the back of my head somewhere that
Ah,
has started as a poem.
yeah,
It's
I need
just
you to
it
write
all just
that.
came
Yes.
together.
I
Yeah,
would, I can't wait for that. I'm gonna get it and have you sign it because I love your writing. You guys
well,
need
thank
to,
you.
you guys need to check out Mum's writing. Please do. Please. Anyway.
Yeah, and I enjoy like language. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
remember in high school, you used to call it language arts,
Yeah.
and I was like, that's interesting because it really is an art to craft the perfect sentence. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm after. That's why it takes me so long to create plays or poems or whatever. I'll spend hours on the perfect sentence. You know what I mean?
Wow. Okay.
That
Yeah.
means what I want it to mean. You know,
Mhm.
um, so whatever it ends up as, it's just that. You know what I mean? Whenever I decide to be like, oh, I'm done writing now, and let's look at and see what this is. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to figure out what the new stuff I'm writing is. What
Okay.
package it falls into, but I'll figure that out when I'm done.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
I
so,
mean, as far as advice is concerned, I
yes.
think the only thing I can say is just write. And when you're done writing, then the piece that you wrote will tell you what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like the characters will speak to you, or the
yeah,
words will jump off the page and talk to you. Is that
yeah.
what you mean?
The
Yeah.
characters, the characters definitely speak to me. Like half the characters, all the characters that I've written, I've never like had a character breakdown or anything. I would write, and then I would put the words in the mouth of the character, and then the character would tell me its own description, tell me who he is or who she is, and then the character that they're having a conversation will out of that. Yeah, understand? Are you freezing? You freezing? Oh, there you go.
You see, that's why I like live. You never know what's gonna happen. You just have to go with it. But thank God it was only 2 seconds. But
Yeah,
I was asking a question about you writing, but in being an actor and wearing many hats. Do you prefer being in front of the camera? Do you prefer writing? Do you have a goal to be in a writer's room or anything? Would you do because you can do many things now. Like back in the day, it was like if you were an artist, you had to pick one field. Right now, we've evolved into a time where you can be in a writer's room, you can write a play, you can be on TV. You don't have to just be a daytime, and you can do prime time. So, was that something you have thought about?
yeah. Oh, yeah. My goal is to be a showrunner.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, we need some
necessarily
black
want
women
to be in.
showrunners.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to be in a writer's room and have to go through all the politics to be in a writer's room to write
Okay.
for somebody else's TV show. I
Amen.
want to
Okay.
I want to pitch my own project, sell my own project, show run my own project. I know that's hard, but I've always circumvented the industry. You understand what
Yes.
I'm saying? So that's where my concentration is. I know a lot of people who are in writers' rooms, and and I know the difficulty of that. Getting yourself heard. People like it. There's a lot of good money to be
Yeah.
made,
From what
but
I hear, yeah.
I have my ideas about what I want to put on television and have my name behind. So that's my goal. So in order to do that, I just got to keep writing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love this. I know people who are just coming on and who will watch this later. One of the things do is ask we can if you guys want to ask a question, feel free to put it in the chat. I can't promise if moms will answer them or not, but I don't want you guys to feel like you can't ask a question. So please do ask a question if you can. Do that. I don't know what's going on. Are we frozen again? Oh my gosh. Let's see. Can you hear me, mom? Can I hear you? Say something. Oh no. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna try. I don't know what happened, but we're gonna. I'm gonna. He got kicked off, so let me see if I can bring him back on. I'm gonna bring him back on. I don't know what happened. This never happened. I've never got it kicked off before. So we're gonna wait for him
Oh
again.
wow!
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know what
That's never happened before. But you know what? The thing is, this is why I like live. You just gotta go with it. But what I was gonna say was, that there's people in the chat who, if you guys want to ask him a question, you can. I don't want to feel like you can't do that. I can't promise that he'll answer, but if there's something you want to ask about writing, about his career, if you've seen his work, please feel free. I don't want you to feel like while we're talking that you can't ask a question. We'll see it as it pops up. But yeah, sorry about that. I don't know. Sorry about the disconnection. But Gabriel asked, "What are you currently? Who are you currently admiring the work of?"
Oh, right now, now that we've got a lot of time, I'm really diving into a lot of the some Fred Hampton stuff, and uh, oh God, some of our greats. Uh,
Well, what
what
is
was
it about
the
the Fred Hampton? What about Fred Hampton that for you, draws you to it? I mean, I know why, but right now and during this time, there's so much going on. What is it that's lifting up for you with Freddie Hampton? Because he's so needed today. If he was a lot, if he was here with us. But his
Well,
work and what he
I
stood
wanted
for is
to. Well,
needed.
Jenny actually was doing the research on like
Mm-hmm.
60s radicals, and and also the civil rights movement, and like just how they were treated, how people were so scared of Fred Hampton, and he just
Yeah.
wanted to be down for the people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And just like the whole COINTEL Pro situation, the MuMs situation in Philadelphia. I the Last Poets had their 50th anniversary, and they
Mm-hmm.
did it live on Facebook. And to hear them talk about how being a poet was such a radical thing back then, and they were being followed by police and like, you know, and accused of all kinds of shit, just
Mm-hmm.
because of the power of their words. So yeah, like I definitely really appreciate Abby O'Doon and Umar Ben Hassan and all the last poets and what they've been doing. You know what I mean? I just that whole time of the civil rights movement and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the major players, and then there were a lot of minor players who had voices. I'm just trying to soak it all up, because
Yeah.
right now we're in a movement that is like might be the biggest movement ever. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so I just want to get my bearing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a
What
good
is
base
going
area to
on with
have
this
on this program.
connection?
I don't know, but you know what? We're gonna keep going. And the thing is also too, I'm teaching for those who are watching. I'm teaching myself how to edit AIM, and so some of this I'll edit out like the disconnecting parts and everything. But
Okay.
I've been spending this time, coming up with the ways to create my vision and my little logos and stuff. And so um, some of this stuff, some of the parts we edited out because we just don't want to give a flow, and I'll send it to you too. But I'm proud of myself because hey, I mean I have the time and I might as well. And that way,
Might
but
as
I want to
well.
say shout out. I want to say shout out to the editors out there though because this shit is hard.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
when you don't know what's going on, you just like I need this. Why don't I have this? Why don't I have this? And then you sit down and do one episode, and you're like, oh, this is like this is why it takes forever.
Yeah.
But
It's
anyway,
rough.
is there any, is
Oh,
there anyone
also,
else out there?
I wanted to
Yes.
shout out James
Yes.
Baldwin. Also, I'm
Oh yeah.
really
Yeah.
diving into James Baldwin in like I love his voice. I love the way he spoke. He broke things down so eloquently, but so clear and pointed. Like that's the type of orator that I want to be. You know what I mean? That's the type of writer that I want to be. James
Yeah.
Baldwin is like here, like up
Yeah.
here for me.
Yeah. He's up there
Yeah,
for me too. And I mean, I'm
yeah,
not even nowhere near as a writer the way that you and he is, but I love reading his stuff. I even go through looking at his videos and what he's in interviews and the way he just answers the questions with the truth
yeah,
and so eloquent and the choice of words that are very specific that he uses. I'm
yeah.
just like, wow. It's just
No, I tell you,
you can't deny his the way his art of words and love of words and how he used that to write. You can't
yeah.
deny it.
If Facebook was around when Jamie Baldwin was around, he'd be breaking everybody down.
He
Just
would.
like
He
you did.
would.
Just like you did. I read your post on somebody else's post when they said, Stevie Wonder is like, well, why can't we
Oh, the black
stop
on
black
black
on black
crime.
crime? Yeah. And, you know, it is about multitasking, and we do
Yeah.
multitask, but the answer truly is, and what you said, which I agree with, is that fighting systemic white supremacy is also fighting black on black crime. You
Amen.
know,
See,
people never connect.
they don't connect it.
They don't connect what has gone the PTSD that black people have felt throughout the generations. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
always say, you treat somebody like they're not human, they're eventually gonna want to like hurt somebody, and that somebody might be themselves. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
direct result. Yeah.
It's a
So like,
direct result.
yeah. And I love Facebook. People like, I hate Facebook, so many issues. But like, Facebook as a writer, Facebook allows me to get into my essay writing. You know,
Yeah.
and
That makes sense. That makes
yeah,
sense.
and also it helps me practice arguing from a civil standpoint. You know what I mean? Because
Amen.
there are rules to arguing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
And once
debate, like the
somebody
debate,
breaks the rules, yeah, then they're gone. And so it helps me to create the perfect argument of conflict for characters.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, I record. I take everything that I write on Facebook and I put it in another document as well for my play.
I
Oh
love it.
well,
But you know what?
yeah,
It's so funny. It's so funny that you bring up Facebook because Alfonso, I just saw him. I don't know if he's still on, but Alfonso and this is why I don't respond on Facebook as much because you write on Facebook, and people who know you, they know your tone, and you're just like your black girl mother. You're like, no, we got to think about it like this, and you're not really trying to pitch a fight, or like you're not at a 10, you're like at a 3, and you're just very just passionate about what you have to say, and how people can't hear the tone and they take it the wrong way. So I was like, you know what? If you guys want to talk about it in person or on the phone, or then call me. So I pick and choose how I respond now. It's lines I respond on pages, like your page. I feel safe, but people who don't really know how I respond, they get all crazy. I'm like, you know what? If you want to know how I feel, call me. We can have a conversation. So that way you can see that I'm not like cursing you out. I'm just really just saying. I'm just having a passionate debate about blackness.
I regulate. I regulate a lot. Yeah. And I will definitely attack some shit if I don't understand it. You gotta explain it to me. And I really don't care too much about how people perceive me outside of my circle. Yeah. But any question that is asked of me, the only time I lost my shit is when I was having a conversation during the Hillary Clinton, the primary, right? And I was a Hillary Clinton supporter, and this dude who was a Bernie Sanders supporter literally called me a coon, and I almost jumped through the phone.
Yeah, you have to punch him in the throat. That's when you punch him in the throat, because
and I hate that. I was like, even Candace Owens or whoever is out there saying.
You're not saying her name. Do not say her name. Do not say her name.
Do not say that. But I don't like calling black people coons. I don't like questioning black people. I don't like questioning blackness based on ideology. Like we're all
because we're not monolithic.
Yeah,
we're not monolithic. I get that.
I do want to push back against the people who put our entire culture and or people in jeopardy by the shit that they say.
Yeah.
When
the brainwashing, the white supremacy.
You know what I mean?
It's like, I feel like we can all be different. We can all be different, but we can all be different in our blackness, but we cannot be different when it comes to fighting white supremacy.
Yep.
That's how I look at it.
We have to acknowledge that shit. We have to acknowledge it. Like I love Terry Crews, but there's no reason why he has to iterate. Well, I like Black Lives Matter, but let's not turn it into Black Lives Better. Like as if anybody said that black people are better than anything. You know what I mean? That's the thing that kills me is when people look at Black Lives Matter and they take from it, oh, black people think that they're better than us. That means there's a problem with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And your perception of it, because the words are clear. You understand? And that's the thing that annoys me. That's just like, are we speaking two different languages?
Yeah, that's what it feels like that sometimes. But that's why we need your writing.
Is white supremacy that powerful that it got these people thinking outside of the truth?
Listen, it's been working for so long that we're witnessing what I feel like is a crumbling of it. But it's been working. But now there's people are having an awakening. In all communities, you see it. Like even with the protests, you see so many different people from all walks of life, backgrounds, ethnicities, and that's something that I haven't seen, because when I was protesting back in the day, it was just us black people, and so for me, it's like, for me to see it, I'm like, okay, hopefully this will be a change. But with that said, I want to see, does anybody else have any questions for moms? If not, I want to move on to our cherry pick, because we're winding down our interview, but I just want to make sure to give somebody, another person who might want to ask moms a question. I see somebody saying they do a one-woman show of their autobiography. Oh, okay, yeah. Ooh. And she's transitioning them to online. Okay, all right.
Ooh.
I'm trying to challenge too. This online, creating a YouTube page and editing and all that stuff is something that's new for me too. It is hard. But the world is going technical, so I feel like I either join the bandwagon or be left behind. So that's how I feel. But with that said, tell me about a cherry pick. What could a cherry pick be for you?
Cherry pick. I gotta find his name. I totally lost it. There's Formula One driver. A lot of people don't
Uh-huh.
know this. My next door neighbor is really big into racing,
Okay.
and he was telling me about a black Formula One driver who is the top Formula One driver in the world right now. And if I'm not mistaken, I think his name is Hamilton. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Lewis Hamilton. He's
Lewis
literally
Hampton.
Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, Hamilton. Okay, the
Yeah,
musical is out.
WWIS. And I
Okay.
still haven't done my due research on him yet, but he
Hmm.
was breaking him down for me. This guy's been racing since he was 8 years old. Got sponsored by like 9 or 10, and has been racing ever since. And he makes like $40 million a year. He's a top Formula One racer in the world, and
Lewis
nobody
Hamilton.
knows who he is.
I was thinking. I was like, is it Bubba Wallace? I'm like, I just heard about Bubba Wallace, so it can't be him.
Bubba Wallace is America. Formula One
Yeah.
is France and Europe, all through Europe.
Wow.
This
Okay.
guy is the man, and
Lewis Hamilton.
nobody
Okay, I'll have to
knows
add
who
him to
he
my
is.
list. Okay.
Yeah,
Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis
Somebody's gonna have to
Hamilton.
write a play about him or a book or a
Or
biopic or
something.
something because he's the number one black man in racing.
He's the number one Formula One driver. He's like the most successful Formula One race car driver in the world. And
Wow. See, I
this,
didn't see. This is what we need to know. That's why the cherry picks
yeah,
are good. We need to know about
yeah.
these things.
That's why we need to know
Wow.
about these things so little kids can be like, oh, I can be a race car driver. Because
Yeah.
I asked my
Exactly.
next door neighbor, I was like, so how do you become a race car? He's like, you got to have a lot of money to start it. He said this guy's
Wow.
father like mortgaged the house, like took loans, did everything to get behind his son to really get him into like go kart racing, and that's how it all starts. And then he got
Wow.
picked up by like I think one of these companies, and his career went. So
Wow,
yeah,
man. No,
yeah,
thank you for that. That's good to know because I like the cherry picks. I like to be surprised because I learn so much. Because things like this is a perfect situation of like Lewis Hamilton. I never heard of him, so now I'm
yeah,
gonna add him to my list and research because it's all about paying forward and giving back to the community in some way. And we need, and the more we know about us and what's happening in the community or what has happened in the community,
yes,
then it
yes,
just keeps our mind free. We stay on that road of freedom, right? So that's why I feel
yeah.
like it's
The
very
more
important.
we know
Right.
about us, the
Yeah.
more we know about us, because we know about them.
Yes.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean? We
Exactly.
we
Yeah.
we know more about them than they know about them.
Yes.
The more we
Okay.
know about us and our achievements and the fact that we can achieve, you know
Yes.
what I mean? And the brilliance of us. I mean, there's tons. I always keep saying there's a quote that Bowery Poetry Club put up that they took from my Facebook post, but it was like, imagine all the contributions to the world
Yes.
that would have happened if the subjugated didn't have to spend their entire lives fighting injustice. You know
Amen.
what I
And
mean?
that's real truth. And they took that down.
No, no, no. They didn't take it down. They didn't take
Oh.
it down.
Okay.
I'm just quoting it. And
Yes.
you know what
No.
I mean?
That's really, yeah. That's
And we've
powerful.
already established that we've contributed a lot to the world. You
Yes.
know, out of everything that we've been through, it's like there's this idea of feeling that like they're trying to convince me that I'm not brilliant. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I take it personal. You know what I mean? You are brilliant. Alfonso is brilliant. I am brilliant.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna
listen,
never
we're
let
gonna end
that
on
go.
the brilliant note. I love that. Like speaking of brilliance, I want to just say to you,
Look at that
thank
heavy.
you for. Okay, amen, amen,
Okay. Okay.
amen. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for doing this because, guys, for you guys watching, I've been wanting to get mums on Sundays with the cherry on top forever, and I wanted to do an in-person, on-site interview with him somewhere at one of his favorite spots, in the Bronx, Brooklyn, wherever he wanted to go. But unfortunately, we can't do that. And so when I asked him to do this, he said yes, and it makes me happy because I just want the world to get to know him a little bit better because he has amazing, brilliant mind, like we said, brilliant, and his love of language has blessed all of us, and it's going to continue to bless us. Because I'm like, get that book out because I need to have that book on my shelf because the things you bring up and talk about, it's the way you put them together, it opens my mind in ways I don't think about. And so you're so needed, and you're such a blessing, and I'm so happy that you were able to be here with me today.
Thank you, Cherry. That's so sweet. You bringing a tear to my eye and putting a smile
I
under my ass. I'm gonna be writing as soon as we get off. I'm writing.
I love it. I love it. So I'm gonna edit some of this out, and then when I edit it together, I'll send it to you, and hopefully you like it. But just remember, it's beginning stages of my editing.
I love it. No matter what you do, I'll love it. For real.
Okay. Oh my God, thank you so much. And guys,
Oh,
everybody watching, yeah, go ahead.
Mary. I
Yeah.
just want to let you know. I don't know if I did get a chance to truly congratulate you on the Emmy.
Oh.
The one thing, because we're in the theater community in New York, and you know how we gossip and this, that, and the third. People talk, blah blah blah. The one thing that I know for sure, no matter what is said uh, about anybody, there is a consensus amongst a lot of people that you are a dope actor.
Oh.
Actor. Like your abilities, your skills in the craft of acting are unmatched. And it's been said for a while. Like, even if Cherry, I love Cherry. Cherry a little crazy, but damn, that girl can act. You know what I mean? There is and
Well, our artists are crazy though. Our artists are crazy. Like we all off a little kilter, or we wouldn't do what we do.
Yeah, yeah. So people love you. I love you. I am not surprised by your win. I know how dope and I know how much work you put into the craft of acting, and your abilities are tremendous. And I can't wait to be on screen with you or have some of my words come out your mouth for real.
That's what I want. I want to say some of your words. I'm like ever since I met you and reading and going to your plays, I'm like I need some of that in my mouth. No pun intended, right? Like people gonna take that. People gonna run with that. They're gonna run with that. But but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I mean words.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for the conversation. You're gonna make me emotional. Oh my gosh, I adore you. I love you.
I love you too, baby. Yeah.
Yes, and we'll talk soon.
Yes.
Okay. Bye, guys. And guys, thank you for being here. And you guys, I'll save this so you can watch it later if you want. And moms, I'll send you a copy.
Okay. Take care.